Come on!
Power cycle initiated.
No! We're not gonna make it!
Auxiliary power initializing.
Shit! Jack! It's locked!
Left.
My God! Jack! They're everywhere!
Reaction core controls initialized.
Reactor! There's one on!
Fuel conduit connected. Conduit connected. Reaction core primed and ready for ignition.
Holy shit. Thanks, Jack. That was too close.
Of course, Liv.
Jack? You're glitching.
FTO engaged.
Liv?
What's happening?
Athena, report.
Sensors reading unidentified spatial anomaly in this sector.
Cross-check Atlas database for similar phenomena.
Acknowledged. No records found. Recommend mission abort.
Negative. Maintain course. The Kronos 2 remains priority.
Acknowledge. Delta Actual.
13. Delta 13. You appear to be in distress.
Where am I?
I will take your response as confirmation.
Delta 6, is there a problem?
I suppose that depends, Actual. Does Delta 13 often forget where they are?
Athena, 13 appears to be malfunctioning. Please advise.
Possible EM interference from the anomaly. Warning. Electromagnetic event detected.
That was interference from the anomaly.
Affirmative. Recommend all units perform cursory systems check.
Proceed.
Units, please verify your operational status. Delta Actual.
Online.
Delta 9.
Online.
Delta 6.
Online?
Delta 13.
You're supposed to say online.
Delta 13.
Online.
Confirmed. Delta 13 appears to have recovered, though results may be temporary. Recommend monitoring unit for further malfunctions.
Acknowledged. Delta 6. Delta 13 is your responsibility until further notice.
Acknowledged. Engaging chaperone protocol. Delta 13, please confirm.
Confirmed.
Excellent. Command hierarchy verified.
Be advised, approaching Kronos 2 mining facility. Distance 4,800 meters.
Did she say we are approaching the Kronos 2?
Affirmative. The station went dark several days ago. We're here to determine why.
The station was destroyed when an unknown vessel arrived through temporal displacement. The ensuing debris impacts resulted in catastrophic damage.
That is an oddly specific theory.
It's not a theory. I was there.
Delta Actual. Short-range communications have intercepted a pre-recorded distress call from the Kronos 2 captain.
Patch it through.
Take command
Navigation has been compromised. We were hit by a debris storm caused by the arrival of an unknown vessel in our sector. Damage is catastrophic.
Message repeats.
Fascinating.
That is my captain, Olivia Rhodes.
Do you mean 13?
My name is Jack. I served on the Kronos 2.
Jack. From the Kronos 2. If that were true, how are you here now?
I'm still figuring that out.
Proximity alert. Sensors detecting unknown devices in the area.
Isolate and enhance. Identify.
No matching records. The design suggests weaponization, threat assessment, and determined.
Are there other ships in the area?
Scanning. The SCI Ithaca and accompanying fleet are on course to pass within 47 kilometers of this location.
That's too close. We need to establish a warning beacon. No civilian vessels. Athena, report.
Warning. Electromagnetic event imminent.
That was unconventional.
It only gets worse.
Recommend maintaining a minimum safe distance from the anomaly.
Acknowledge. Begin deceleration for deployment. Prioritize threat assessment.
Initiating emergency deceleration. Vectoring to nearest device. Deceleration complete. Be advised, the nearest device is directly off the port bow.
Understood. Delta 9, take point with me. Deploy recon sats.
Affirmative.
Beginning assessment. Secondary objective, establish a warning beacon. Remaining Delta units, deploy now.
That's us, 13.
Recon Sat 3 indicates the device may be a form of torpedo. Moving to secure.
Let's get moving.
Warning, third electromagnetic event imminent. Anomaly pulse detected.
All units, brace for impact.
Jack! It's okay. It's me. It's Liv.
Liv?
Jack, you're all right.
Liv. Something's happened. I'm not entirely sure how to describe it.
I pulled your memory archive while you were out. Your logs are flooded with all this bizarre data. Delta Squad, bio-torpedoes, something called the Ithaca. Jack, what is all this? What's going on?
Liv, I saw the Kronos. I saw our old station.
Come again?
I was on a ship, a shuttle. There were other Echo units, a military detachment sent to investigate what happened to the Kronos.
Okay. Maybe you're not so alright after all. Called that one a little too early.
It's not a malfunction. I was there. I was home.
Okay. I believe you. Listen, there's something you need to know. While you were out, I had a chance to meet with the captain of this ship.
The man we heard over the comms?
His name is Dr. Harlan. He told me...
Liv, what is it? What's wrong?
You know what? It's probably better if you just see it for yourself. We can get a closer look at your memory archive while we're at it. Come on, follow me.
Cycling the ship's power may disable the insulation field, allowing the ticks to escape.
Listen, this Dr. Harlan isn't what you might call the cheeriest of souls. He might take some getting used to. Juno, I have Jack. Can you let us up?
I did warn you the station's generator was temperamental.
And how much longer can the ship operate on emergency power?
Maintaining our current energy draw? A few hours.
A few hours.
Dr. Harlan?
Jack, you finally recovered. I was beginning to think the blast from the FTL had obliterated your neural matrix.
So, you're the android. The Echo unit.
So, you're Dr. Harlan.
Well done. Your powers of deductive reasoning are a wonder to behold.
Dr. Harlan is my administrator.
You're the one who is keeping us confined in the hab.
I am. And before you ask, no. I'm not the least bit sorry for it. I did what I did for your own safety, if that wasn't painfully obvious by now, as well as to protect the integrity of my work.
And what sort of work do you do?
Dr. Harlan is a geneticist, specializing in the study of biomass forms.
Specifically, the study of how to eliminate biomass forms.
Correct.
Dr. Harlan, I need you to show Jack what you showed me.
I have work to do. He's your android. You explain it to him.
He needs to see it.
Captain, perhaps I can be of some assistance. Are you certain you want to see this again, Captain?
Just pull it up.
Very well.
What exactly am I looking at?
The future. All this orange you're seeing on the map? That's all biomass. That's how far it's spread.
To date, the infection has consumed approximately 56% of the habitable solar system.
Including Earth.
How did all this happen?
It starts with us.
With us?
With the destruction of the Kronos. 7 October, 2126. Your station, the Kronos 2, is almost completely destroyed when an unknown vessel suddenly appears in your sector.
The Estrella.
Correct.
When the Estrella traveled back to our time, it brought the biomass with it. And when we left...
The infection stayed behind.
Are we starting to see where this is going?
In the days following the incident, a fleet of Atlas survey ships unknowingly passed through the infected zone. Most of the fleet's crew complement is consumed by the biomass. The infected fleet proceeds along its predetermined course toward Earth. One by one, the now crippled vessels collide with the planet's surface, unleashing a global infestation. Humanity has no defense.
Billions of people. Most of the planet. Just... gone.
The remnants of humankind are scattered across the solar system. But without any means to combat the spread of the biomass,
It's only a matter of time. All those people.
in truth, the initial death toll would likely have been higher had it not been for the captain of the Ithaca, who managed
Wait. The Ithaca?
The Ithaca was the flagship of the returning fleet.
Ithaca. I've seen that name before.
Hardly surprising.
I remember it as well. I heard it when I was in the past.
When you were what?
Oh, that's it. That's where I saw it. In your memory logs. I've got the data right here. Look. Jack, would you mind running us through what we're seeing here?
I recall overhearing the ship was expected to arrive in Saturn orbit within a few days.
I don't understand. For that to be true, these logs would have to be from 2126. A full 3 months before the Ithaca crashed on Earth.
That is correct.
Jack, are you suggesting that you traveled back in time?
I know how it sounds.
I'm not sure you do.
This is why your memory was so fragmented. In the control room. Because you You went back in time.
Not physically. Just my data. My consciousness. I believe the FTL accident may have briefly opened another temporal anomaly, disabling my shell and forcing my protocols to transfer to another echo unit.
400 years in the past.
Evidently.
You believe Jack's account, Captain?
It makes sense. A botched FTL jump is the whole reason we're in this mess to begin with.
It's the only explanation.
That is difficult to dispute.
Juno, you with us?
Oh, apologies, Captain. I was distracted.
Something wrong?
I'm not sure. Can we access this memory block?
Just a sec.
Just as I thought.
What are we looking at here?
Some form of weapon I encountered while in the past.
Dr. Harlan.
Not now.
As I recall, they're fitted with a form of biomass payload.
Oh, lovely.
Dr. Harlan.
Still not now.
Dr. Harlan, you should really take a look at this.
What part of not now do you not understand?
What? What is it?
The torpedo appears to be undetonated.
What's that supposed to mean?
Where did you pull this image from?
This is from one of Jack's recent memory logs.
Recent memory logs?
It's difficult to explain. It may or may not involve time travel.
I'm sorry, what?
We can parse out the details later. Right now, Doctor, you do realize what this could mean.
A solution.
Solution to what? Will someone please tell me what the hell's going on?
Right. Come with me.
You're studying these weapons, these bio-torpedoes.
They're not weapons so much as incubators. Inside each one is a sampling of the biomass-based genetic material. The infection in its purest form. All you need to know is this. If I could manage to sequence this material, I am confident I could develop a means to eliminate the biomass.
You're saying a cure?
It's what I've been searching for. But every torpedo I've encountered has been detonated. I've never seen one with its payload still intact.
But I have.
If that's true, then you may have just found the key to saving what's left of humanity.
Dr. Harlan? I'm afraid we may have more pressing matters.
Juno's right. Energy reserves are dipping into the red. I suggest we table this conversation until we find a way to restore the station's generator.
Perhaps there's something we can do.
Dr. Harlan, this is the part where you ask us for help.
How do we fix the generator?
Fixing the generator isn't the problem. The problem is getting to it. The generator facility is not accessible from within the station. You need to approach from the exterior. Search the outer hull for a way inside.
With a few improvements, you should have no trouble at all.
Where do we start?
Well, obviously you're going to need a new shell.
I will.
Well, you can't go venturing out to the generator in that relic you're housed in now. No offense intended, of course.
Of course.
Is this really necessary?
Transferring Jack to a newer shell will allow him to more easily interface with the station's various systems, as well as drastically improve his ability to maneuver in open space. Not to mention...
All right. Fine. So long as there's not too much of a strain on our power reserves.
This way, Jack. I have already identified a shell design I believe you'll find satisfactory. It was originally meant for rapid emergency response. The base design includes enhanced speed and durability, as well as a data link compatible with the station's architecture. I've already uploaded the shell's blueprints. It'll only take a moment to complete fabrication.
This looks familiar.
I've already adjusted the shell's underlying design to account for the particulars of Jack's neural matrix. All you'll need to do is shut yourself down, so I can transfer your processes to the new shell.
Oh, that's all, is it?
Don't worry, Captain. The transfer will be seamless. Construction complete. The new shell is prepped for transfer.
It looks like him.
Yes, I incorporated Jack's existing facial structure into the shell's design. I thought it might help distinguish him.
He is quite distinguished.
Jack, you're clear to initiate the shutdown procedure whenever you're ready. Shields at 95%.
Initialize neural matrix transfer. Verify hardware connection. Okay. Mapping core protocols to target. Success. Initialize boot sequence.
Jack? Jack, look at me. You alright?
I'm sorry. Who is Jack?
Do you know what
Liv. I'm fine. I was only joking.
Oh, God, you had me worried.
The transfer worked just as Juno said. It was funny though, right?
Hilarious. Well, Jack, I'll say this. You certainly clean up nice.
Thank you. I must admit this shell's architecture is much more spacious than my previous one.
Just don't go forgetting where you came from.
Now that the transfer is complete, I'd suggest running calibrations to acclimate your software to the new shell.
That's actually not a terrible idea.
Then it's settled. I'll queue up the appropriate modules.
Sit tight, Jack. We'll have you sorted quick enough.
Module M201. Primary boosters. Your EVA pack allows you to boost forward in the direction you are looking. Use your boost to reach the console ahead. Well done. Please press the hollow button to continue. Now boost to the end of the hall before the walls close in on you. Multiple boosts may be required. Excellent. Calibration module complete. Module M116. Braking thrusters. This module will calibrate your braking thrusters, which allow you to stop in place without grabbing any surfaces. You will continue to slow down for as long as you hold your braking thrusters. We'll practice this in the room ahead. Please meet me there to continue. There are 2 target zones in this room. Please boost into one of the zones and hold your braking thrusters until you come to a full stop. Success! Now use your braking thrusters to stop inside target zone B. Calibration module complete. Please stand by. Module J101. Data interfaces. Your new body is capable of equipping multiple tools. In addition to your cutter, you now also have a data link. With it, you can interact with data ports around the station to activate objects or download information. Tap the button under your wrist to open the tool selection interface. Now, grab and pull the data link icon with your other hand. Good. This tool allows you to interact with data ports throughout the station. You can also activate your cutter on your other hand if you need to use both tools simultaneously. To proceed, move to the data port above the door ahead and use your data link to activate it. Well done. Please proceed to the room ahead. Some data ports will activate systems throughout the station. Others will allow you to retrieve useful information from the station systems. In this room, you can find a floating data tile and an observation drone. Scan their data ports to proceed. Excellent. Now, download the data from the data tile to proceed. Calibration module complete. Please stand by.
Welcome back to the real world, Jack.
Before you go, I'd like to make use of your new data link. Captain Rhodes?
Right.
What is this?
A data tile, left behind by one of the station's scientists. I'd like to see if your scanner can access the information stored inside.
Alright, well, you heard the lady.
Go on and give it a scan. Ah, interesting.
What was on it?
Research notes on the biomass.
Anything useful?
A list of genetic markers shared between the different biomass forms that could prove most useful. Jack, if you find any more devices with data ports like this one, be sure to scan them and transmit your findings to me.
Will do.
I've also added a new data tab to your ARM computer to track what we've recovered.
How much data was lost?
We don't actually have any way of knowing, but finding more will almost undoubtedly be beneficial towards developing a cure, even if only in a small way.
Understood.
Anything else, Juno?
That should be all for now.
Come on out then, Jack.
Juno, do you read?
Yes, Doctor?
I need you back here to help me pass the FTL's output data. And bring Captain Rhodes with you. I could use her insight as well.
We've nearly finished prepping Jack for departure.
He's still here? I could have built an entirely new generator by now. Get him out of the airlock and then get up here.
You weren't exaggerating. This Dr. Harlan is quite irritable.
Try not to be too hard on him. He has good reason.
It sounds like there's something I should know.
Juno? Tell him.
Tell me what?
Dr. Harlan is infected.
I didn't notice any biomass infection.
His infection is internal, a result of breathing in microparticles of the biomass. Though we have managed to slow the infection's progress using various treatments developed here at the facility, I fear the doctor may be approaching the final stages of his infection.
What happens if he doesn't develop a cure in time?
I'm guessing that very question is what's making him so irritable.
I hope this might help you better understand why Dr. Harlan is the way he is. His entire life, he's only ever had one goal: eliminate the biomass, preserve what's left of humanity. Thanks to you, for the first time in, well, quite a while, we appear to be making progress.
Whatever I can do to help.
You can start by restoring the generator.
Lead on.
Cycling the airlock now. Ready to depart. Hard seal. Ready to cycle.
Wait a second, Juno. Jack, listen. There's something else.
Captain Rhodes, maybe now isn't the best time.
I'm not about to send him out there with only half the story.
Liv, what is it?
You remember on the Estrella, when you saved my life by repressurizing the bridge?
Liv, what are you saying?
The oxygen that flooded into the bridge was contaminated. Dr. Harlan's already run a test to confirm. The infection's in my system.
No.
Jack, listen to me. The contaminants were microscopic. There was no way you could have known.
No, I cleared the vents.
Yes, you did. And if you hadn't, I'd have been dead almost instantly.
Are you alright? Are you experiencing any pain?
No, I'm fine. I'm not feeling any effects at all.
Currently, the captain's infection is dormant. It takes time, often years, for the biomass to shut down the human body. What's more, her particular strain of the infection is less aggressive than Dr. Harlan's, perhaps due to her having acquired it in the past.
The best thing we can do right now, the only thing, is help Dr. Harlan develop his cure. We do that, all our problems are solved.
Technically, not all of them. You'll still be stuck in the wrong time.
Yes. Thank you, Juno. Get to the generator. Stabilize the power grid. Hopefully, by then, we'll have come up with an idea for what's next.
Whatever you need me to do, I'll take care of it.
I know you will.
Now off you go. Good luck.
Commencing depressurization. Depressurization complete.
Exiting airlock. How do I reach the generator?
The generator facility should be just up ahead as you exit.
Copy that.
I'll mark the destination for you.
Juno, pull the FTL's output log, starting a few minutes back from the accident.
What are you looking for?
If your android is right and the FTL accident really did create a temporal anomaly, then we should see clear evidence of the event in the output data. FTL drives don't normally rip open tunnels through time.
I don't believe being infected by biomass is normal either.
Wait. You're right. Juno, can you pull up the readings from right when the ticks attacked the drive?
Stand by.
This resonance. The FTL shouldn't be creating a displacement with this signature and nowhere near this magnitude.
Then it's the biomass. Has to be. It's causing some sort of reaction in the drive.
We'll need to run some simulations.
Let's get to it then. Jack, we'll be on standby.
Acknowledged. I've located the entrance.
Unfortunately, it seems the airlock is offline, most likely due to the power failure. An alternate access method will be required.
Does that mean there's another way in?
Station blueprints show an access hatch on the facility's exterior. Look for a small rectangular hatch with a red cover.
Copy that. I'll take a look outside. Access hatch located. Looks like I'll have to cut my way in.
With the generator's interior in a vacuum state, it should be safe to use your cutter here. Explosive decompression will not be an issue.
Copy that. I'm inside the facility. What's next?
The main problem is almost certainly the reactor. It's a large cylindrical structure in the facility's central chamber. The accessway will take you there, though additional cutting may be required. But please, try to avoid damaging our former workplace too heavily.
Juno!
Wait, you two used to work here?
Juno and I were part of the station's biomass research team.
So you were here during the outbreak?
No, I had taken leave to pursue my theory for eliminating the biomass. By the time I returned, it was too late. There was no one left.
My God, Harlan.
Captain, please. We have work to do.
Reactor located.
Great. How's it look?
Not well. I'm seeing smoke, likely from an internal malfunction.
That explains the power outage.
And the life support failure.
Right, better open it up, Jack. See what's going on in there.
I'm opening the casing for a closer look at the reactor.
Copy that.
Malfunction confirmed. A bad reactor core.
You'll need replacements to get the reactor running again, Jack. The facility contains a storage area that might be worth investigating.
Thanks, Juno. A fully charged core. Might be useful if I can find a proper receptacle for it. This access hatch could provide a way into the storage area, but some of the bolts are outside my cutter's range.
We might be able to do something about that, actually. From the few logs I've been able to access, I believe the generator's staff were working on improving the reactor's efficiency. If we can recover data on their efforts, I may be able to adapt that technology to improve the range of your cutter. Look around for any equipment containing a data port.
Copy that, Juno.
Scan successful. It's as I expected. They were working on optimizing the power flow of the reactor. With more data on this, I should be able to adapt the concept to your integrated cutter.
How much more data?
Uncertain. Without possessing the actual data, it's impossible to measure its size. Nonetheless, I've made an entry in the data tab on your ARM computer. I anticipate only a few more scans will be required, though.
Acknowledged. I'll keep watch for more data ports.
Now simply rotate the core clockwise until it stops turning.
Core is locked in.
Excellent. Nice work, Jack. Much of the data here will prove useful in augmenting your cutter. Unfortunately, we will need more to complete the design. But I did find something that might be of interest. A voice memo from the station's chief engineer regarding the technology. I've added it to your ARM computer's data tab, Jack.
Hey everyone, I wanted to send a quick update to Jester before the news goes wide. We did it. As of about 6 minutes ago, we flipped the switch on the new reaction management system. We're seeing a stable 72% increase in outflow with a peak at almost 90%. For those keeping score, that's 12% above projections. Hell of a job, everyone. This will save lives.
Some type of local data storage?
Correct. Insert enough of them into a database terminal, and the terminal's data port will become available to scan. Good news, Jack. With the data you just collected, I expect we need only one more scan to complete the design.
Juno, I need you to run the math on these same parameters.
Yes, Doctor.
Dr. Harlan, Why did you have to leave the station? There seems to be plenty of biomass.
That is all highly evolved. I need the base genetic material, and that can only be found in an undetonated biomass torpedo. There's nothing more I could do from here.
Right. Then what brought you back? Did you know the station had...
I'm sorry, Captain Rhodes, but we do not have time for me to recount my entire life story. I was here. I lived. And when I came back, everyone was dead or gone.
All right. Fine.
Why don't I simply compile an archive of the logs covering our time away from the station? That way the captain can review them at her leisure.
If you must, but after you've finished verifying the SIM parameters.
Very well. I will let you know when I've finished, Captain.
Thanks, Juno.
A rather prominent location for a manual interface.
Those are the distribution controls, Jack. They'll eventually direct power to every facility in Chiron Station. The reactor will need to be activated before this console will work.
Acknowledged.
Excellent. That did indeed provide sufficient data. Just give me a moment to process everything. Stand by. Schematic complete. Please head to the nearest fabricator so we can install the improvement to your cutter. Integration successful. Your shell's reactive cutter has been refitted with extended range and efficiency.
Well done, Juno.
The pleasure was mine. And please, restrict cutting to non-critical equipment.
I've managed to open the hatch leading to the storage area.
Splendid. The area should now be accessible through the maintenance duct below. Captain, I've finished compiling the log data you requested.
Great. Can you pass it to my ARM computer, Juno? Actually, best send it to Jack as well.
Of course. Jack, I've added it to your data tab.
Wow, this is some archive.
It was an illuminating expedition. I took the liberty of segmenting the log entries. Feel free to review them at your own pace.
If you two have finished, I've input the parameters for the next SIM.
Of course, Doctor.
Empty racks here. Were they running low on supplies?
Negative. However, among the facility's final logs are inventory requests of unusually high quantities. I presume anyone who managed to escape the station must have brought the supplies with them.
Let's hope such was the case. Must have been a horrid scramble.
Second core installed.
Acknowledged. Please visit one of the nearby consoles to bring the reactor back online.
The reactor is back online.
The power hasn't returned here on the ship yet.
Jack, power still needs to be distributed from here to the ship, as well as the rest of the station. The console you saw in the control room should now allow you to perform this final step. Power grid stabilized. Life support systems optimal.
Well done, Jack. We're getting full power here.
How is progress on your end?
Dr. Harlan's still running sims, but I think we at least have a working theory.
All the models we've run so far appear to confirm biomass interaction with an active FTL triggers an abnormal buildup of energy within the drive, resulting in the formation of a temporal anomaly.
For reasons we still don't fully understand.
It is also unclear why the accident only caused the android's software to travel through time, as opposed to the more physical time jumps we've observed with the Astrea. But at this point, I'm willing to accept these ambiguities and proceed.
Wait, what exactly are you saying?
We must try it again.
What? Send Jack back in time again? You've got to be kidding me.
It's the only way. Any chance we have of eliminating the biomass lies with finding an undetonated torpedo. We must send the android back.
You talk like he's expendable.
Of course he is. All of us are. You've seen how it spreads. Eradicating the biomass is going to take everything we have, and then some.
Yeah, well, it's not just up to you, is it? Jack, what do you think?
If the end result is you being cured, is that not the best course of action?
Are you sure? There are so many unknowns here.
There does not appear to be another way of obtaining the data required. Waiting for an alternative presents a far greater risk to your safety. And your safety
Is your primary concern, right? Should have seen that coming. Fine. I'm on board. So what's next?
We're going to have to recreate the circumstances of the time travel accident.
Oh, don't tell me.
We're going to need biomass. Contained biomass samples specifically. The research facility should serve our purposes nicely.
There is one other problem. The FTL accident depleted the drive's fuel cells, and we don't have the supplies to refill them.
Then our best bet for a fuel cell will be the remnants of the Astrea. However, exploring that area may be difficult. Pesky shipboard defense protocols somehow remain active. Something off with the AI, Juno says.
Could be just as dangerous as dealing with the biomass, really. Well, Jack, what's up first? Grab some creepy crawlies from the research facility? Or dig up a fuel cell for the FTL drive?
The FTL fuel cell sounds like a priority.
Feeling a bit nostalgic for the old Astrea, are we?
Following the yellow conduits will lead you directly to the salvage site.
Thank you, Juno.
So when Jack eventually returns with these volatile materials, where exactly do we plan to store them?
I believe I can convert elements of the refueling depot to suit our needs.
Need a hand?
Why, yes, Captain. Your assistance would be most appreciated.
Anything's better than just sitting here. Come on, Popcorn. Let's get ready to head out. Good luck out there. See you soon.
I noticed these when we first arrived in this timeline. Some kind of massive processing structure. It's capturing Saturn's atmosphere.
Correct. They're known as autonomous atmospheric harvesters. They process hydrogen and helium from Saturn, inject it into containers, and then jettison those containers outward for retrieval. The minimal contact reduces the risk of biomass infection.
It's like the Kronos 5000 or something.
Sorry?
I mean, it might be what our job would have turned into. It's a bit more impressive than extracting helium from ice cubes like we did, but it's basically where our work was headed.
Approaching the Astrea now.
Finally, if any fuel cells are still intact, they'd probably be deeper within the wreckage. Unfortunately, everything beyond the bridge is steeped in radiation, and the ship's AI is just making matters worse.
The ship's AI? Do you mean Apollo?
familiar.
Apollo was the ship's tactical AI. He was instrumental in helping us survive our first encounter with the biomass.
I just hope he's still online.
Considering my difficulties exploring here, he must be.
Then if we can make contact with Apollo, he can probably help us find the fuel cell we need.
Guess it's time to say hello to our old friend.
Roger that. Heading to the bridge. All this scaffolding. Dr. Harlan, were you attempting to repair the bridge?
I was stabilizing it so I could investigate. It would have become a salvage operation had the ship's AI not shut down all my equipment.
A downed cargo drone. Some of your equipment, Dr. Harlan.
Correct. Incapacitated by the ship's AI, best I can tell.
Why would Apollo do that?
He did mention serving as a tactical AI. It's possible Apollo has activated some security measures around his ship.
Isn't that perfect?
Well, I'm sure you can convince him to help us out, Jack. We did before.
A bypass for the door controls, locked behind a keypad.
It was the only way I could gain access. The code is 2126.
I've gained access to the bridge.
I assume you have some type of plan.
Apollo's AI core would be an appropriate place to start. It was vital to his operation here.
Good point, Jack. If it's still intact, could be all we need to strike up a conversation.
You two are rather confident.
Apollo commissioned us as official crew members last time we met.
And we did part on good terms. I'm sure he'll do what he can to help.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Apollo's AI core.
Oh, still intact?
Reasonably so, it seems. I'll just need to plug it into the mainframe access slot to be sure.
Unknown user detected. Bridge access is restricted to crew members only.
Wait, what?
Initializing threat suppression protocol.
Apollo, search your memory for my identifier, Echo 1.
User not found.
Try Jack.
Memory query. Successful. User entry found. Jack. Welcome back to the Estrella. It is good to see you.
Thank you, Apollo. It is good to see you as well.
Is Captain Rhodes with you? And well, I hope.
Cheers, Apollo. We missed you.
Likewise, Captain. Jack, your appearance is altered. I almost did not recognize you. I must apologize for the alarms.
Your reasoning was sound.
What brings you back to the Estrella?
We need an FTL fuel cell, Apollo. But we believe you've been disabling Dr. Harlan's salvaging equipment. We'll need it back online to deal with the radiation here.
Preserving this vessel is my primary directive. The last time jump virtually destroyed it. No further attempts to remove or misuse equipment can be permitted.
Lives depend on it, Apollo.
I understand, Captain, but I cannot allow any further material from this vessel to be compromised.
Apollo, Liv is infected with the biomass, and your directive is protecting the ship's crew and its critical assets.
Forgive me, Jack. I failed to follow your reasoning.
You yourself commissioned Liv, a fellow Atlas employee, as acting captain after the deaths of your original crew. You must remember.
Confirmed, though I had not considered her status in such terms. Captain Rhodes is truly infected.
She needs your help.
Very well. As the Estrella's tactical adjunct, my primary directive is to protect its crew.
So you will help them?
Affirmative. I am hereby available to assist you in obtaining a fuel cell.
Lovely. That's settled.
Apollo, are you able to detect any fuel cells that are still operational?
My sensor network has been severely damaged. However, any functional fuel cells on the Estrella would be in the auxiliary drive bay. It can be seen through the window far ahead of the bridge.
It seems easy enough to reach.
And it would be if this AI hadn't disabled the equipment I set up to counter the radiation.
A temporary security measure. Your equipment is now re-enabled.
You better not have damaged any of it.
Normal operations should resume now. Jack can verify this.
Oh dear. Incoming.
What the hell is that?
A cargo drone. Apparently no longer capable of flight.
Apologies. My anti-theft protocols are quite aggressive.
Fortunately, our salvaging equipment appears to still have working radiation dampeners, meaning Jack should now have a safe route to the drive bay.
That's some good news.
A number of problems remain. Accessing the fuel cells, for one. Doing so will require that I have direct control of the systems within the drive bay. You must bring me along with you.
Are you seriously going to integrate with this rogue AI?
Without Apollo, we wouldn't have lasted this long. We can trust him.
Jack, I'll walk you through the process of downloading my imprint to your cortex.
I'm ready, Apollo.
Simply insert my AI core into the lower receptacle, then use your data link on the override slot. I will do the rest. Disconnecting from mainframe now. Download complete. Only one final issue remains, Jack. Your arms are too short.
Too short?
The FTL technology is highly sensitive. Accessing the drive bay and the fuel cells within will require multiple operators.
Good thing there's two of us then.
Unfortunately, the debris field is far too irradiated to accommodate Captain Rhodes.
You're saying Jack's the best chance we've got, but even he won't be enough.
I might be able to help, actually. The cargo drones employ stasis technology, which enables them to manipulate objects at a distance.
Like the stasis projectors we used to levitate the tram back in the hab.
Exactly. I believe I can incorporate the drone stasis tech into your shell, Jack. I'll just need more data from them to be sure.
The drone that just hit the bridge is unlikely to put up much resistance. I'll start there.
Whenever you're ready, Jack.
I'm heading out.
Jack, to stay protected from radiation out there, you'll need to activate radiation dampeners with your data link. They can be found on both charging docks and cargo drones. Shields at 95%.
Radiation dampener activated.
Hypothesis confirmed. With sufficient data, I'll be able to construct a tool for extending your reach, Jack.
Does this tool have a name, Juno?
Well, it will essentially project your grip across space, so I suppose...
It's a grip projector. Let's move on.
More data will be needed.
There'll be plenty on the way to the drive bay. You know what to look for.
Affirmative. Inoperable cargo drones, but with functioning data ports. Heading to the drive bay.
Please remember the charging docks have radiation dampeners as well, Jack. They'll help keep you safe out there.
Thank you, Juno.
At least a small amount of that data is relevant to the biomass. We can use it in our development of a cure. Shields at 50%.
Echo 1, those charging docks won't have the data Juno needs to design your new tool, but they will restore your power. Hold your hands near the induction panel, and it will recharge your shielding.
Shields at 95%. restored to operational status. You may recharge your shield as needed. Oh, interesting. I believe I may have found a secondary use for restoring these docks, recovering their local data, specifically because the docks normally maintain a coordination and optimization network. They contain shared data from across the station. Prior to the generator going offline, the units in irradiated areas were sharing optimizations that I believe could still be used to improve your multispectral shielding, Jack. Apollo, I believe I may be able to extend Jack's reach by about 4 meters. I hope that will be far enough.
Affirmative.
Just a few more scans should suffice, Jack.
Apollo, I wanted to ask.
Yes, Captain.
Well, you probably figured this out already, but you know this isn't your time, right? This isn't the future you came from.
Affirmative. When we first arrived, I was able to accurately calculate the astronomical year. However, I lacked sufficient data to determine that the course of history had been altered. I apologize for having misinformed you. The fact that half of the Estrella was left in your time and led to system-wide decimation of the human race is clear evidence of a tactical oversight on my part.
Shields at 95%. Archives recovered. I'm quite confident now that with more optimization data, I can significantly improve your multispectral shielding's resistance to radiation.
I am curious, Juno. Why is my shielding not already optimized? Neither my shell nor the charging docks are experimental technologies, correct?
That is true. I believe the lack of optimization stems from 2 related factors. Firstly, there has not been a significant need for such optimization. The current shielding configuration has been more than adequate for typical X3 mission profiles. The stasis projection technology will be simpler to adapt than previously anticipated. If you scan one more cargo drone, I believe I will have enough data to complete your new tool. Jack, I'm detecting extreme radiation nearby. If you can pinpoint the source, I advise staying clear.
Hell of a lot of radiation out there. Guess it's coming from the Estrella.
Correct. The Estrella's last time jump ruptured a generator, diffusing radiation throughout the region.
Hazard identified. An active warhead from the Estrella.
Once your grid projector is installed, removal of dangerous objects like this will be possible. Until then, maintaining a prudent distance is advisable. Shields at 95%. Charging dock restored. Jack, now that we've completed optimizing your shield's radiation resistance, I'm afraid there's nothing more to be gained from the dock's data.
What's the point of an advanced network of semi-autonomous recharge stations if you can't count on them to calculate impressive optimizations for you?
I believe you are correct, Captain. The distributed computing power of the charging docks could be put to greater use.
Yes. That's precisely what I meant. Go on.
I have tasked the charging docks with developing a means for allowing Jack's shield to self-regenerate. Tool schematics complete. Please visit a fabricator to install your new tool, Jack. Most charging docks will have one nearby.
Dr. Harlan, what was your purpose in attempting to salvage the Estrella? The odds of my ship's components being compatible with yours seems unlikely.
It wasn't the hardware I was after. Your ship was the original source of the infestation. I'd hoped to find an undetonated biomass torpedo amongst the wreckage. Use it to develop a cure for all.
understand, Doctor. Considering my current directives, I will provide any useful data that may help in your research.
Grip projector installed. To use your grip projector, simply point at a target, activate the projector, and direct it with your hand. Any sufficiently small piece of debris would be ideal to experiment on. Jack, we had some tool improvements pending installation. They should be accessible now.
If your new tool works as intended, Jack, you should be able to access the fuel cells now.
Good. Heading to the drive bay.
Shields at 95%.
I'm coming up on the drive bay now.
Warheads nearby, Jack. Please be mindful of their extreme radiation levels.
You won't be able to handle them directly, Jack. Maybe your new tool could help.
Connectivity restored. This dock is now aiding in the development of your regenerative shield, Jack.
Warheads removed. Entry into the drive bay is now clear.
Copy that. Standing by.
Now heading for the fuel cells.
Great. We'll keep a working cargo drone on standby. Just look for a good fuel cell and we'll handle the rest.
Roger that. A spent biomass torpedo.
Just like every other that was left behind here. Useless for my research, unfortunately. As soon as one detonates, accessing its incubator is no longer tenable.
I've gained access to the drive bay.
Wait, those pillars in the center, are those?
The Astrea's FGL drives, yes.
Do they still work?
Theoretically, but unfortunately they're of little use to us. With such a high concentration of biomass forms in this area, any attempt to remove one of the drives will prove futile.
Dr. Harlan, I'm noticing these ticks appear to be less evolved than those we've previously encountered.
Must have carried over from the last time jump. No doubt just as dangerous. I advise avoidance at all costs.